It was a tale of an idiot who thought he could. Well, no shit, he couldn't. Yes, it is time for me to review another Roblox event. Because you all care about my opinion. Roblox being in hot water, of course the next reasonable action is to launch another event. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Why address the obvious flaws of predators on your platform when you could just make a Roblox event? I mean, yeah, I would too. No, I wouldn't. Of course, that elephant in the room that I'm not going to address this video because that's a different topic for someone else more equipped to handle it to talk about. But yeah, welcome to Strat University, where we will partake in our first 12 games. So without further ado, and not caring about my sanity after the hatch, let's get into the first game. Dig with the noob quest is pretty mediocre, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's god-awful, actually. However, the Pro and Master quests make up for this, which, good job, Dig. I don't know who the developers are of this game, I'm sorry. For the Pro quest, you play Whack-A-Mole, which, I like Whack-A-Mole, so, bonus points for that. And the Master quest, trying not to say anything negative here, but I feel like the Master quest could have some a little bit, major tweaking, actually. This is obviously meant to be done with friends, however, if you don't have friends and you are riding solo, this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge for you. I mean, it is called the Master difficulty for a reason. I recommend taking it slow if you're going solo. Do a couple of enemies at a time, don't rush into things, and the poison ability is just broken. That's pretty much it. However, this does mark off quite a lot on my list, so yeah, this is good. We're off to a good start. 6 out of 10. This one is... The quests are just play the game regularly. Why? Why? At least the game is mildly entertaining with friends. A little bit annoying if you're doing it solo. But that's really all I have to say here. 4 out of 10. This shit sucks. None of the quests here were memorable. I'm sorry. Wait, is that fucking Wednesday? The objectives here just chalk down to play in a competition, train 25 times, get a 10 combo. Whoa. The 25 combo twice is, no, it was 4 times actually, was, incredibly fucking annoying. So, yeah, I didn't die out of boredom because, I was on a call with my friend. So, yeah, that's a plus, I think, but, yeah, this isn't really good. 2 out of 10. It's dressed to impress. It's just dressed to impress. It's just fucking dressed to impress. It's just dressed to impress. I want to say that this game mode is made specifically for the event, but I don't really know since I don't play this game. So, I don't know. And unfortunately, the objectives just chalk down to play the game regularly. Yay. 3.5 out of 10. Again, I don't know if this is new specifically for the event or not, so we're just gonna give it a half mark. Bayside High School once again cooking up something incredible. It's nothing short of incredible of what these developers can do within the time frame given. The quest to gain creds here is, they're actually pretty simple, but I'm gonna give them the added creativity because this is creative. Again, the Pro quest requires you to paint 1,000 tiles, and the Master quest requires you to sit for 15 minutes. Wow, okay, this immediately went downhill. I managed to find a server that was willing to work together, and the odds of that happening are incredibly low, but yeah, this one was a freebie for me pretty much, until someone joined. And the last one requires you to beat a boss that's buggy. Oh. Okay, I think I know where they put their resources at. And it definitely wasn't this one. Once again, it's refreshing to see a game actually willing to put in effort for their event. 8 out of 10. This took forever. It was boring, it was long, and it didn't even work half the time. Okay, positive. Gotta be positive. There wasn't much good to this, unfortunately. That's really as much as I can say. I'm sorry, it was bad. It's buggy. Once you're completed with any of the quests, you have to go back to the spray paint thing to claim it, because you can't claim it from the top. And if you leave the game, there's a chance that the progress will just not give you the badge. It just won't. So you have to restart it from again, which that's fun. This just wasn't fun. This wasn't fun. I didn't have fun, and I was bored the entire time. 2 out of 10. My first impressions from the hatch were not the best, but this is actually pretty unique. I like this one. Unfortunately, it is pretty luck-based, especially with the extreme quest. Killing 4 people in a row without getting killed yourself is not the easiest. That's all I have to say for this. 7 out of 10. Waiter, more fetch quests, please. If this segment seems quick, that's because it is, because I remember absolutely nothing about this, and I'm too lazy to research more about it. 3 out of 10. By golly Scott, the easiest game strikes again with a new area, and that's about it, actually. Unfortunately, the noob, pro, and extreme quests are just get endings. It's just get endings. That's... However, I will not discredit the fact that this map is new, and there's also a cool thing for the master quest. Yeah, put it on screen. This is cool. I like this. However, overall, I want to say this was fun. I enjoyed the new content, and I enjoyed... Actually, no, I didn't enjoy the getting 3 medals. That was ass. Overall, this game gets an 8 out of 10. Cool transition! So you got a fish, sell the fish, get money, sell more fish, get more money, buy a thing, and then claim the quest, and you do that 3 times, and you get all 3 badges. 1 out of 10. I'm having so much fun right now, guys. Unfortunately, this just chalks down to play the game regularly. I mean, I understand why. I don't think it would be necessarily easy to come up with something like this, but I mean, they did for the games, so I mean, I don't know. This just feels lazy, and most of it is luck-based, so that's a plus. Not really, actually. That's incredibly annoying. You need a place on the podium twice in a row, and if you're not good at this game, which I don't even know how you can be good at this game. It's just dress up, really, but it's just not good. I'm sorry. 2 out of 10. Aw, hell yeah, it's my favorite game to dunk on. Okay, no, but seriously, why do all the quests in this game feel just god-awful to play through? My leading game theory is that since this developer group, for whatever reason, decided to enter multiple of their games in this event, specifically put their time and energy into one game, and then just sideline the rest and praise in hopes that they have time to do something good, and this game just ends up being the bottom of the barrel. It's a shame that games like these don't actually have the time and effort put in for, you know, Roblox events, because they have the potential of making something incredible for the Roblox event, but they just don't. Whether it's the time frame that they're given, because again, why would you enter multiple of your games in the event? That seems pretty counterintuitive, don't you think? Unless you're a very huge development studio, which I wouldn't know, but considering the fact that, you know, the quests are incredibly bare bones, makes me think that it's probably not that big of a studio. Wish I had more to say here, but I really don't. It's just fetch quests. 3 out of 10. I wonder what Doors has this time around. Oh, it's just ranked mode, but called battle mode now. Great. There isn't really much else to say here. It's just ranked mode, but you gotta do some quests in the meantime. Fun. 4 out of 10. Whoop.
Hello, yes, it is I, the Cherry Rabbit trademarked. I was asked to give some opinion in some of these games, so here I am. Then here's my opinion. Yeah, something evil will happen. Now, getting 10 hats, that was really simple. It was like the introduction. Then there's 10 graffitis. It just felt like getting the 10 hats again, but I don't get rewarded for it. Then there was getting to level 8. That was painful. It was horrifying, so hard, so difficult, but it redeems itself with defeating the Doomspire. That was such a fun boss fight. I loved it. It gets a 8 out of 10.
Survival games. It was alright. A little bit hard, but don't really have much else to say here. It's kind of just like a bit boring, I guess. It takes like 20 minutes. 6 out of 10.
So, natural disasters. That one was so fun, but only because of the hammer that you get for watching an ad. Watching people crumble and die to my hand because I made an entire building fall off. I love that. That was hilarious. But we're not here to judge that. We're here to judge something else. So, survive 2 rounds, easy. Spread like 20 surfaces. That took a little longer than it should have, but I did it. Then there was spray tagging 15 specified surfaces. That one sucked. It took way too long. It shouldn't have taken as long as it did, but it did it. And then there was evading 3 cups in a round. That one wasn't so bad. All you have to do is spawn a cup and then survive 3 rounds in a row. It sucked for some others, but it didn't suck for me. I did it in my first try. 6 out of 10. Getting 5 kills, that was pretty easy. 3 headshots without dying, that was kinda fun. It was alright. And then there was winning a round. That sucked just because I'm bad at the game though. So Arsenal gets a simple 5 out of 10. It was pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty demure. Alright, yeah, those were my judgments. My judgments of the games. Subscribe to
Liam's Dumb Productions. I lost the foot. Hey, SpongeBob Tower Defense. This game was pretty good during the Hunt Mega Edition, so I'm expecting something great here. Oh, it's ass. You just beat the dang thing 4 times. How entertaining. 3 out of 10. Tower Defense Simulator's entry isn't horrible. Hooray! My only real complaint here is that you get paired with random people, and it's a little bit boring. But that's really it. 7 out of 10.
As a long-time EDX fan, they had made a very enjoyable event for such a small part of a bigger image that I think clearly had more effort put into it than other games that had been nominated. Alongside this, I am quite pleased that they had made it beginner friendly by not having to make you grind for towers that are good enough to complete the harder difficulty. I wish the hard mode was a bit easier, as not everyone quite excels at TD games, but in general, for the presumable time constraint that TDX had whilst working on their bigger update, it stands out within the event for complying with the event setting and generally still having a quality update. Most of the other games just not seeming to be related to the event at all. I give it 9 out of 10.
This is a game that we like to call boring and takes forever. It's just fetch quests that require you to progress the game normally in order to complete, which, again, annoying and boring. I don't like doing this. I want to die. Unfortunately, that's all I really have to say about this. It's boring and I don't like it. 3 out of 10. If you've played this, then it's a 10 out of 10, and you know why it's a 10 out of 10. I don't really think there's much else I could say here that hasn't already been said. Complaint-wise, it's just long, like most of these games. And when you're completing 48 games in under 2 weeks, that gets annoying. But it's not the developer's fault. But yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10. Don't have much else to say. Sorry. World Zeroes, I think, is okay. You have to do it solo, and unfortunately, if you don't have powerful items, it's gonna take a little bit, especially the extreme quest, but yeah. I think the map that they made is creative, and the enemies are also creative. I don't have much else to say here, unfortunately. It gets a 6 out of 10. I think the extreme quest kind of lowers my view on it. The first few quests were okay. Actually, no, they were pretty boring. I have a pet peeve with the last ones. I think the starting animation is unique. The boss itself, however, it's reused from the wait, is this even the same game? Nonetheless, it is painfully long, and, second phase isn't any better, actually. It also plays a version of Black Knife, which is just unjustified. You don't get to play this, sir. It took me 20 minutes to beat the Master Mode quest, and it took me 40 minutes to beat the Extreme Mode quest. It just wasn't fun. 4 out of 10. This one was alright. A little long, but alright. I don't recommend doing this solo because protecting the tree requires more than one person. There are a lot of monsters that spawn. I'm sure it was pretty difficult for many. I mean, I wouldn't know because my second attempt I ended up getting a glitched server where none of the enemies moved. Yeah, that's something you should probably fix. I'm not sure if it was just a one-off bug or if it was something other people faced, but yeah, overall this gets a 5 out of 10. It was long. Most of these are incredibly long. Oh hey, another pretty creative one in my opinion. Too bad the quests suck though. There are 3 different teams, and basically, it's Splatoon. It's fucking Splatoon and slap battle. This gets an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty cool. No transition? What are you waiting for? Ugh, fine, I'll do it. Murder versus oh wait, no, actually, I don't think I want to cover this game. Yeah, let's just move on. This game is really good. I have never played this game before, but who knows, maybe I might again because, I don't know, something about tennis is just fun. No, it doesn't have to do with balls. The quests, unfortunately, like everything else, are incredibly generic. However, they did add the paint element, which I enjoyed, surprisingly. But, yeah. 7 out of 10, woohoo, yeah! The first few quests were actually incredibly boring, if I'm being honest with you. However, the story of Bringus that they made for this, I don't know, I'm dumb, was pretty good, actually. I enjoyed it. Bringus is hot. Given the mix of original content and not original content, I'm gonna give this one a 6.5 out of 10. I don't really know. This game is pretty fun. I see myself playing this from time to time. The quests were mid, though. The hard obby in specific was giving me a tough time. I hate the hard obby. Me and my homies hate the hard obby. But overall, this was pretty enjoyable. Except for the first few missions. They kind of sucked. I think the obbies were made specifically for the event. If not, well, fuck. Overall, this gets a 7 out of 10. The game is fun. The quests were mediocre at best, and at worst, there was the hard obby. So basically, you gotta play the game regularly, and then play the game regularly, and then I got bored, and then I left. So that's a 4 out of 10. At this point, I was nearing the end of the event, so I had to rush through most of these. So I only pretty much did one quest per game at this time. Mind you, I was pulling an all-nighter, I was tired, so yeah, I don't really have much to say here, other than it was boring. I'm sorry, I don't have many opinions on this one. Why do we keep letting this game in events? Can we not, please? The quests weren't that hard, so I managed to get all of them done in one sitting. This took me like under 30 minutes, so I don't know why I did this. I did not have time to do all of them. Why did I? I don't know, this quest just feels familiar. Like a certain battler or something had something to do with it. I don't know, it's probably just me though. This gets a 4 out of 10. You can't just reuse RB battles and expect me not to notice.
Carl, I don't know how to say this, so I'll whisper it in Sheen's ear and he'll blurt it out in astonishment.
Carl is pregnant?
The quests were bare bones and mediocre at best. This gets a shit out of 10. Yeah, I hate this game. So basically, you gotta play the game regularly. I mean, I liked the entrance, but it's not saying anything. This kinda sucks, actually. I'm sure I probably would have had more to say if it wasn't like 7 in the morning by the time I was recording this part, so I was tired as hell and just did not care. But, yeah, this gets like a 4 out of 10. This isn't good. The game wouldn't let me join at all. I'm not sure if I said this at all for Dead Rails, but the same thing there, it just wouldn't let me join. So, I don't know, here's this cookie run gotcha animation instead. Holy hell, work at a pizza place cooked this time around. You have to work with your fellow teammates in order to cook a bunch of pizzas and deliver them. It's a simple concept, but it really does work here, especially the different challenges that you are faced throughout the different difficulties. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do all of the difficulties because I was on a time constraint. Who would have guessed? But from what I've seen, they're pretty cool. I'm glad that this time around they took a different approach on how to actually make it more entertaining instead of just playing the game regularly. I mean, it still is technically playing the game regularly, however, this is just more fun, in my opinion. I like the super speedy element. I like the that you have to work with people instead of just doing it by yourself. But yeah, that's all my thoughts, I guess. This gets a 7 out of 10. This has nothing to do with planes!
You have been cheated and lied to.
You just kind of boat around. Hooray! 4 out of 10. This is the most 5 out of 10 experience you are ever going to get out of this event. I am not even joking you. All you do is just run around and you deliver stuff to people. Except I had to rejoin because the last person wouldn't take the order. So, buggy. Yay. But yeah, like I said, this is the most 5 out of 10 experience you're ever going to get out of a Roblox event, so we'll be moving on now. You play the game regularly. I mean, I guess it's fun with friends, but it was also like 7 in the morning when I was doing this, so I was tired. But 1 out of 10, moving on, whoop. Welcome to Play for 45 Minutes Simulator, where doesn't matter what level you are, you will always do the same amount of damage. I didn't even complete this one, and can you blame me? I had other stuff that I needed to do. I pulled an all-nighter. I didn't want to be in this game for like 40 minutes. Absolutely not. Hell no. To give it the benefit of the doubt, this is new content, I'm pretty sure. So it gets a 6 out of 10 there. We'll compromise.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
Oh my God, that was an abomination. That was awful.
Dude, my ass is actually sore. My ass is actually sore.
Using my friend's footage here, but from what I've seen, this is really, really good. The minigames are, well, from the base game, I'm pretty sure. However, this time it's different because it's a competition. You gotta kill other people instead of surviving together. Unfortunately, since I did not end up playing this game, I do not have any opinions on it. I do think it looks cool, what they did. Yeah, but just like the other games, I do not have any rankings to give this. This gets an NA out of 10, just like the other few games that I didn't end up playing or couldn't play because it just wouldn't work for whatever reason. I don't know why. Why would Roblox do? Why? So overall, what did I think of this event? I mean, yeah, it was okay. I think doing an event in the middle of an actual PR disaster is a little bit negligent on their end, but I mean, like, I saw this coming from a mile away. The last event was The Hatch, which was in July, and the last event before then was the Hunt Mega Edition, which was in March. So, you know, lack of events between then, kinda gotta step up your game on that. My biggest pet peeve here is the fact that every game's objective gets just increasingly more painful to do. It's not just a difficulty thing where you can get it done within under 20 minutes. No, every game at least took over an hour to do, if not more than an hour per difficulty. But despite all of that, there are some games that did manage to pull through and actually have something creative, like work at a pizza place. That was nice. Doors, not original, but I had fun with it. If you didn't manage to 100% the event, don't beat yourself up over it. I did for a bit, and then I realized, wait, what would 100%ing the event even look like? Getting the badge? Doing the same quests over and over again? Because technically it's infinite. So if you didn't manage to get every badge, don't sweat it. Like me, I'm not sweating it, even though I am. But yeah, that was the takeover. Overall, final thoughts, it gets a 5.5 out of 10. I thought the event lobby was cool. I thought some of the participating games were cool, but overall it was kind of lackluster and hard. It was unnecessarily hard. If you did make it to the end of the video and totally not skip through it, hit the little red button down below, because I would like to hit 1K at some point. That would be nice. Begs and pleads with my ghoulishly cold black eyes. What am I saying? What the fuck?